So, is the property market in Singapore heading for a nosedive? Continue watching because I'm going to review to you some data that you can actually access yourself to find out that answer. Now, did you know that URA actually published a quarterly report that has a lot of data that affects the price of your property? And if you look at the Q2 2023 report, it summarizes the key takeaway right in the heading of the report, and the report reads that Singapore is actually showing signs of moderation in the property market in Q2. Now, you probably heard of this thing called the property price index that most agents will tell you about. And it's an index that URA publishes to actually help you project or predict the way that the property price will be heading. But what if I tell you that there is actually a leading indicator before the PPI starts reacting to the market changes? And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you next. Now, the PPI is great, but did you know it includes all the new sales of new launches? And with new launches breaking new price ceilings with each new launch, do you think the index is robust enough to really reflect real market sentiments now? Now, it's not wrong, but I prefer to use the resale market transactions as a more correct indicator of real market conditions. After all, a resale property can only transact when there is a willing buyer and a willing seller that agree that the price is based on an open market and not decided by pricing strategy from a developer. So let's take a look at the resale transactions of all the condos from 2019 to 2023. Hey, if you are in the market and looking to purchase your next property and potentially a property that helps you to make some money in the process, I have a specialized list which I separate them into specific areas, specific clusters, be it condos or landed, and some even resale. If you are in the market and looking out for something that will not only suit your budget but have the potential to help you make some capital gains, right? The link is right in the description. Just simply click on the link or contact with me and I'll send you that list. Now back to the video. Now, so these are resale transactions for all condos across the entirety of Singapore. I'm doing it from 2019 to 2023, the quarter, which is now. So you can quite clearly see, first thing that you will observe is that the prices, the average transaction prices have tapered off from Q1 2023 at $1,555. It has tapered off to $1,553. So we have not reached the end of Q3 at the time that this video is recorded, but it's very clear that across the quarters, this has already seen a leveling. Will it be the peak of the current market cycle? That is really to be seen. But the other thing that I will point your attention to would be looking at the resale transaction volume. So you can see the condos resale transaction volumes for Q2 right now is 3,289 units. So it might seem that for a fact that from Q1 it has increased to 3,200 plus units, but resale transaction volume has to be taken into account the cyclical nature, seasonal nature of property transactions in Singapore. So when we compare transactions, we compare quarter to quarter. So that's something, a tip for you to look out for. So if you look at Q2 2022, the resale transactions are actually much more. In fact, it's at 4,264 units. So compared to 4,000 plus to 3,000 plus unit, we've lost about 1,000 plus units, and that is actually very, very substantial. And if you look across even to the Q2 of 2021, it is also at 4,000 plus units. So it's safe to say that the amount of units and inventory in the market is either not getting enough or the amount of transaction is actually reducing. So additionally, market conditions and government measures also play a part and impact the property market. On the demand side, ABSD rates have been increased for certain property buyers, namely foreigners. And foreigners now pay a hefty 60% ABSD, and entities and trustees pay 65%. And on the supply side, there are more than 40 new launches expected to add more than 12,000 units in this year alone. And there are projected to be 15,000 TOP projects that will be collecting key this year in 2023, including 6 mega projects. And on top of that, HDB is launching 23,000 BTOs in 2022-2023, with a total of 100,000 flats to be launched by 2025. And the minister actually announced that almost 20,000 flats are expected to be ready in this year, 2023. So if we do the math correct, in 2023 alone, 20,000 BTOs, 15,000 TOP units, and current inventory of 16,000 units, we have more than 50,000 dwellings available for buyers who's looking for a home this year. Now, I'm sure the market will eventually absorb all this supply. But however, as supply ramps up, buyer will have one thing more: choices. And I can't guarantee price will definitely drop, but what is certain is sellers that are ready to sell will be ready to moderate their asking price. Now, some clients were asking me an interesting question. How about Enbloc? But let's think about it. If there are land available for developer to continue building condos via the GLS or government land sales, do you think they will actually bother to go through the exercise of having an Enbloc? And besides, in fact, URA actually announced that 2023 is the year that the government released the highest ever land for developers in a decade. Did you know that the Enbloc process is not one, not two, but a full 8-step process, stretching all the way to 2 years or more, from beginning to the end? And any one of the steps can be a roadblock that throws the entire Enbloc process back to square one. And that is why you read that many attempts of Enbloc have failed and many try again. So for my projections for the rest of 2023, we're actually likely at the peak of the property market run, and the market is actually switching from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And for those who manage to sell at this peak, I congratulate you. And if you need to help secure the next profitable property, remember, I'm just a phone call away. And for those that still waiting to buy, I believe the second half of 2023 may be that window of opportunity to secure your dream home. And that dream home that will also be profitable, because I believe the market gap is open now, especially for buyers. So look out for my next video, helping to break down the Q3 URA report when it's out. This is Pete from Singapore Property Pro. I'll see you in the next video.